What truly determines the height one reaches in life is not emotional intelligence, intellect, or even degree of effort, it's one's level of mental maturity. Mental maturity is not about being slick, calculating, or smooth talking, that's merely being shrewd. True mental maturity has a profound psychological foundation. According to psychologist Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development, a mature mind means being able to move beyond black and white, binary thinking, and enter a higher stage of cognition. At this level, an individual can hold conflict, accept contradictions, understand shades of gray, and maintain inner stability even in complex circumstances. If you want to identify whether someone around you is mentally mature, look for these 6 signs. 1. Emotional stability. True emotional stability isn't about never getting angry, it's about maintaining awareness when emotions arise, neither suppressing nor indulging them. Many struggle with this. Some people, even as they grow older, still show clear signs of immaturity, bossing others around at home, shouting at family, habitually using threats or intimidation to assert their presence and status. But when real difficulties arise, they either choose to escape or lash out at those around them, remaining highly emotionally volatile. Psychologist Viktor Frankl noted, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. Mental maturity means being aware of and controlling that response, not imposing one's own anxiety or fear on others and thus making more rational choices in the moment. True, embracing the complexity of human nature. Observe those who are mentally mature. They don't simply label people as good or bad. They understand that each person is multifaceted, with their own struggles and contradictions. They recognize that different experiences, upbringing, and levels of awareness shape each individual's unique values and behavioral patterns. Understanding complexity means no longer seeing people and situations in black and white. Someone might be stingy with family yet generous with friends. They might excel professionally yet be vulnerable at home. When one begins to move beyond binary judgments, relationships become easier to navigate, and understanding of human nature becomes more nuanced and compassionate. You also start to ask, am I absolutely right? Gradually, you allow more different voices to be heard, an important mark of mental maturity. 3. Having the courage to express real needs. Psychological research shows that 90% of conflicts in close relationships come from hoping the other person will guess our needs without being told. Mentally mature people, however, don't make others guess, they communicate directly. For example, I need companionship. I want you to remember our anniversary. I feel overlooked. Key signs of maturity are verbalizing needs and perspective taking, having the courage to acknowledge and express what you want, while also understanding the other person's fatigue or oversights. To someone immature, direct expression may seem like lowering your value or proof that the other person doesn't love enough. They fantasize, if they really love me, they'd notice my subtle needs and moods. But those who constantly wait and expect others to read their minds place themselves in a passive position, draining themselves while hoping the other person will be all-knowing and always available. A fear-driven regression that is fundamentally immature, psychologically reverting to an infant seeking its mother. Relationship advice that tells you don't be direct, make them guess also comes from an infantile psychological place. The more insecure a person is, the more likely they are to be drawn to such ideas, mistakenly believing that staying silent appears strong. But if you observe people who express their true feelings and needs openly, they are often the ones in a relationship capable of taking responsibility for themselves. This is psychological maturity. 4. Turning mistakes into nutrients for growth. Cognitive psychology points out that our brains operate in 2 modes. One is defensive and self-justifying. The other is experiential and open to growth. Immature people often activate psychological defense mechanisms when criticized or confronted with their shortcomings, denial, excuses, or even counterattacks. Maturity, on the other hand, means admitting you're not always right, accepting your imperfections with grace, listening to various perspectives, and drawing nourishment from them to grow and evolve. 5. Maintaining boundaries. As family therapist Bud Helena said, happy families all share one thing: clear boundaries. Mature people understand that even with close family, everyone has their own path to walk along. Many people habitually interfere in the lives of those around them, mediating parents' arguments, intervening in siblings' choices, getting upset over a friend's questionable relationship. But no matter how much you interfere, it often proves futile in the end. Not meddling in others' journeys, allowing people to live life at their own pace. This shows basic respect and trust for others, and it's also a form of liberation for yourself. 6. Start returning your focus to yourself and building a solid sense of self. A classic sign of immaturity is seeking external validation and caring too much about what others think. This leads to two consequences. First, you become entangled in worries, afraid of saying the wrong thing, afraid of judgment, afraid of not being liked. This sense of constriction makes it hard to fully engage in what you truly want to do. Second, your motivation no longer comes from within, but is hijacked by others' opinions. For example, you might choose to date or marry not because you desire a family, but out of fear of gossip. You might pick a career not out of passion, but because others see it as stable and respectable. Mentally mature people know how to turn their attention back to themselves, focusing on their own growth, passions, and goals, and living according to their own values and desires. In summary, mental maturity can be understood as a journey from constantly seeking externally to building internally. Along the way, you learn to become self-aligned, accepting, and reflective. You maintain understanding, respect, and boundaries with others and with life. You stop dwelling on what can't be changed and pour your energy into the present. As psychologist Carl Rogers said, the good life is a process, not a state of being. It is a direction, not a destination. Mental maturity means becoming more whole, more authentic, and more free in every present moment.